Hello everybody, welcome to my podcast. Today we have with us as our guest Mr. Aditya Thasnia. Please, before we dive into our world of packaging, आपका रोल के बारे में कुछ आप बता सकते हो और आपका टिपिकल डे कैसे दिखता है?
First of all, good morning everyone. I am Aditya Thasnia. So we are into manufacturing of flexible packaging material. Just to give you an idea, तो हम लोग जो आपके कुरकुरे, चिप्स या डिटर्जेंट लिक्विड के पाउचेस होते हैं वो हम लोग बनाते हैं. Now coming to my day, basically my roles and responsibilities are divided into both marketing and sales and also production.
Okay.
So wherein first half what I do is I spend my time from 9 to 10:30 in the office where I look after sales, where I review what has been done in the week. मतलब कैसा sales drive हुआ है, what are the numbers, मतलब how many new clients we have acquired, are there any difficulties or कुछ difficulties होते हैं, तो I discuss with my employees.
Okay.
After that is done, then I move to the factory wherein I look after the production basically. So in production there are different things that comes into place. So first is what has been done on the previous day. First is review. कितना production हुआ, what are the wastages, what employees have done. Then again comes the planning. So for the next 1-2 days, as per the requirement of the customers, we plan our production, and later on there are discussions with multiple teams, dispatch, human resource, accounts team, and again maintenance. So we have group discussions where we discuss the day-to-day activities, what is the action plan, how it has to go about, and again are there any issues where we can resolve it. Because group discussion is one thing which I feel is very important part of my day, wherein I get to know what exactly are the problems of my employees, and again how can I take that forward.
So just look to the whole supply chain A to Z.
You cannot say supply chain, but it's basically the production part. You can say the process of the entire organization, right from getting orders from the customers to executing it and delivering it to the customer.
Right. So moving on to the next question. Amazing Flex emphasizes on quality, timely delivery and pricing. आप इन सब चीजों को बैलेंस कैसे करते हो जबकि आपके कस्टमर के जो डिमांड है ओवरनाइट शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं?
जैसे हमारी इंडस्ट्री पर्टिकुलरली नहीं है, एवरी इंडस्ट्री का वर्क रहता है, बट व्हाट वी ट्राई टू डू इज हम लोग ने सिस्टम्स डेवलप किए हैं बेसिकली, वेयरइन अगर इन ओवरनाइट चेंजेस होते हैं भी तो वी हैव सिस्टम्स दैट वी कैन डू इट पर्टिकुलरली. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू आवर फील्ड व्हाट वी डू इज बिकॉज इट इज अ वेरी स्पेसिफिक रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द कस्टमर. लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल आप ले लीजिए कि एक चिप्स का पैकेट है, अ लॉट गोज इनटू इट्स प्लानिंग, प्री प्लानिंग, एवरीथिंग इज डिफाइंड प्री हैंड. जैसे फॉर चिप्स का पैकेट, जैसे आपका कैसा आपको डिजाइन चाहिए, आप कौन से मार्केट के लिए ले रहे हो, आपको शेल्फ लाइफ क्या चाहिए, वेयर यू विल पोर्ट्रे दैट प्रोडक्ट, एंड again what are the quantities that are required, what specific requirement you have in terms of putting it into the market. So these are various things that goes into. So what we do is we first tend to get all these requirements from the customer, we get the approval done, we get the samples made so that the customer is satisfied कि हाँ before going into the final production he is content that कि है ना the quality of the material and keeping in mind the delivery times. Basically दूसरा जो अलग अलग टाइप के materials होते हैं, so everything has different timelines. So मतलब जो किसी को ज़्यादा लगेगा किसी को कम लगेगा. So based upon their launch date or something, we plan everything accordingly, keeping everything clear to the customers. Because if at all something urgency comes up, we try to pull it up, but we are on the first stage we try to be clear of everything. Approvals are done, various approvals are done, and again it is again all in the system, because only if at all there is a system then we are able to execute everything, right from giving the customer the quality that he requires to delivering in time. So that's all about it.
How does the shelf life depend on the packaging?
So now coming to the shelf life, see for example if you see the liquid detergent or basically chocolates and all everything. So there are different kinds of material. So if you are not using the proper material, आप जैसे ले लीजिए कि आप देखते हैं कि चिप्स के पैकेट में एक सिल्वर लाइनिंग होती है. अगर आप वो सिल्वर लाइनिंग यूज नहीं करोगे, if it is exposed to the sun or is there and there is oxygen permeability, basically अगर कोई foreign particle अगर प्रोडक्ट के अंदर आता है, then it becomes moist. The customer like कुरकुरे आप खाते हैं, so it's very crispy.
Yes.
If you don't use the proper kind of material, आपको feel नहीं आएगा. Again, it will be a dead investment for the customer and उसको उसका product fail हो जाएगा.
Right. So you work with different type of sectors from food, pharma, and all, which each of them have unique needs. Like आपके लिए सबसे toughest challenge कौन सा रहा है उनके requirements meet करने के लिए?
So basically, pharma sector I feel has the most specific kind of requirements because see, not only pharma sector, but we can talk also about food. Because see, ultimately everything comes in under primary packaging, wherein the food is in direct contact with the packaging, so everything has to be done with proper quality.
Yes.
The toughest challenges we face is when we come up with new customers, high-level customers. Let's say, for example, ITC, Britannia, or Parle, or when we go to FMCG sector, we can go to this Clinic Plus and all. So these kinds of products have something very unique to them because the quality that they look at is very different. Now particularly talking about inks itself, so the inks which use have different types. So the inks that are demanded by the regular customer is not same as demanded by the ITC, Britannia and Parle. So there we face a little bit of challenge because what happens is that ink is very difficult to get. And second of all, the quality has to be maintained at utmost care. So we have particularly employed quality people who on regular basis at every stage in the process check each and everything. Let's say for example, the quality parameters that the customers check is very rigorous. So if they place 10 pouches in line and out of 10 pouches they stamp on all the pouches, even if one pouch fails, they reject the entire lot.
Oh, okay.
So such thing is very important. And again, not only particularly in the pharma sector where everything has to be done, but in terms of food also, since it is primary, we make sure that all the employees in our factories maintains basic hygiene, proper quality parameters are being checked, whether in terms of oxygen permeability. जैसे मैंने आपको लास्ट टाइम में बताया था कि in case अगर ऑक्सीजन चले जाता है तो वो फ्लेवरनेस नहीं रहेगा. In terms of coffee pouches, liquid detergents, all these things matter a lot. A lot of things goes into it. So that is how it is.
What do you mean by primary packaging?
So
primary, secondary, is there
okay.
categories in it?
Yeah. So basically in packaging there are three types. So first is primary, secondary, and then comes tertiary packaging.
Okay.
So primary is one thing wherein the food is directly in contact with the material. So if you go to a restaurant, you say you buy a biryani. So biryani is direct. If you get it for takeaway, that food is directly in contact with the pouch.
Yes.
So that is known as primary packaging. Now coming to secondary packaging, if you take it out in a carry bag, but the food is not in directly contact, that is secondary packaging. What comes in tertiary packaging is if you are exporting it to some other country, you pack in the primary, you put it in a carry bag, then again you put it in a box. That goes into tertiary.
Okay. Now let's talk about tech. So how has automation, digital tools or data has helped you in streamlining your business processes and drive changes within the company?
Okay, but tech itself is very important to us. So everything is actually driven by tech. So we have different systems. Let's say first talk about sales. So we have a CRM tool wherein again in today's world customer information is very much important.
Yes.
So what we do is we try to get all the information from the customer, we feed it in our CRM, so there becomes a very database which is easily accessible.
And
so
also personalized.
Yeah, so every time we don't have to ask the customers for his billing details, shipping details and his requirements. So we feed everything into it. So as soon as that is done, when the next requirement comes, we just have to tap on that requirement and it goes directly to the production team. So again, when it now comes to the production part, we have enterprise resource ERP systems wherein everything is online. So it's a sale order that is being placed on the CRM tool. They receive, so accordingly they place everything for design to our design team. Then again it goes into planning. Everything is visible to everyone.
Okay.
Now the best part for our organization is that, so we give a link to our customers wherein he is able to know at which stage his product is.
Okay.
So that is one thing that sets us apart, because customer is aware. We do not have to constantly communicate to the customer कि आपका अभी ये first stage पे है, second stage पे है. You can just go online and you can look into it कि हाँ हमारा production planning में आ गया, फिर production में आ गया, अब ready to dispatch है. So accordingly,
like Amazon.
Yeah, so everything is there. So once it is ready to dispatch, an intimation is given to the customer, he makes the payment, and accordingly it is done. Now in terms of data retrieving, we did say that let's talk about printing itself. So in printing, what we do is there are specific parameters to print a material. Not every time an operator can remember everything. So let's say for example an operator has worked for 2 months. We have set a standard parameter, and again a new operator comes. He doesn't have the knowledge कि क्या parameters पर रहा. अगर समझो हम लोग कोई है नहीं, तो what the AI technology basically in the printing what it does, it says it remembers the parameters. They just have to click on the job name, the entire machine sets itself. So that saves us time, and again there is no chance of producing a bad quality.
Okay, so you have streamlined all the processes using MIs.
Yes.
So like every industry has its own surprises. So what's the most unusual or creative packaging request you have ever received?
So now I'm talking about the creative packaging. So recently we had received packaging that is for a paper type mouth freshener, wherein it's a very simple product wherein people these days use plastic boxes, which you have seen. So the customer required an easy to peel pouch wherein it could be easily put into people's pockets or for mouth freshener purposes. So for that we had to do a lot of R&D wherein different suppliers had to be contacted, and again our team basically put into a lot of efforts into that. So what to explain you what easy peel is basically, have you ever eaten jelly?
Yes.
So when you open the top or
yes.
Kinder Joy, so that is something which is called easy peel. But that is basically plastic container type to fill. This is film to fill, which has to be very particular, because once you break open the pouch, it is useless. So that particularly keeping that in mind and customers' ease of opening. So that is which was something very new to us. So we have contacted suppliers all over the globe, and we tried to get in information what exactly we could do, because this was an export customer. So accordingly we have developed, streamlined the entire processes, done a lot of homework, and again communicated the same to customers, showed him some samples, because investment is very high. And again, if you go into the final production, there will be huge losses. So first we showed the customers, then it was approved, and again we proceeded further.
So you also receive international orders?
Yes, we do. So we are exporting to Africa continent, US, again Europe, UAE. Yes.
Like how has digital marketing helped you to boost your visibility and sales? And what kind of marketing tools are you using?
Okay, so initially when we started out, so we used to mainly focus on cold calling. That something is people would be aware only if we are approaching to them. But in today's world, everyone is on their phones, and everyone needs to have information easily accessible to them. So the first part of digital marketing, what we have done is we have developed a website that is very user friendly, which can be used on mobiles. Because nowadays, if people are traveling, or 90% of the times they are using only their mobile phones, so everything has to be accessible. So we try to provide all the information that is the customer needs on our website. And second thing is making them aware, informative content that is on social media, LinkedIn, like Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, wherein we do different posts twice a week, wherein we provide information what kind of packaging is better for them, and how they should be aware, how they should choose the right design for their packaging. So all these put together has increased their visibility. Customer himself is aware that we as a company are able to provide such solutions, so he can easily approach us. But before it was other way around. We used to approach the customers. Now it is vice versa. And again, we have used online B2B platforms such as IndiaMart, Alibaba, wherein the customer itself posts the requirement, we speak to them, we have our online team. So there are different marketing strategies that are being adopted. See, for the startups, I feel IndiaMart and Alibaba are very good. But when it comes to basically big customers, cold calling and approaching them directly is much better. So for different set of customers, different target of customers, different marketing strategies have to be used.
So still the big companies use the
Traditional
ways.
See, they have already the requirement. We have to go to them for the business. They do not have. They are no less. They have no requirement for new vendors.
Okay.
So if we want to pitch in and if we want to get the order, again we have to approach them. They won't be doing us. But in terms of startup, they are very new. They don't have any knowledge. So they go online. They should be aware. But as we see, India being growing so much, startups have increased, whether it be Hyderabad, Bangalore or anywhere. So people on a day-to-day basis require packaging. Let's say for now something new has come up even in Zomato, Swiggy. So wherein they have selected few vendors, wherein, for example, you as a vendor are trying to get on board with Swiggy and you have a packaging requirement. So they connect with people like us, like me or any other player, wherein you post a requirement, they come to us, we supply to them and it is already fulfilled. So platforms are also being used to fulfill the requirement.
So Swiggy will contact you.
Yes.
Like
so we supply through them.
Okay. That's great. Like what are the current trends of your packaging industry, and I'd say 5 saal baad, how do you see the packaging world evolving?
So basically one of the trends which I want to talk about mainly is sustainability, that has been more focused upon today.
Yes.
So as you can see, people are more towards going into sustainability, paper-based packaging. So whether it be plastic, there is also development going on over there, but not as of now, not so much. But if you have seen recently, Amazon, Flipkart, Blinkit, Swiggy have all started using paper-based packaging. And there is also an option wherein they ask you a question whether you need the packaging or not. So that is somewhere people are trying to cut down. See, paper itself is being cut down from trees. Again, that is also be safe. Second part, when coming to plastic, the number one problem is disposable systems. So in not only in our industry but in whether you take PET bottles, so Coca-Cola has introduced a simple technique wherein the cap is attached to the lid. So अगर आप खोलते हैं cap, so you throw it away basically. Yes. So to avoid that creates a lot of problem for the rag pickers, not in India but in Europe and US. So this has been implemented in Europe wherein the cap is attached to the bottle itself. So it is very easy for the rag pickers and for the waste management companies to dispose of them accurately as per the grades that are there.
Okay.
And now coming to flexible packaging, monomaterials are being used. So what do you mean by monomaterial? Basically, अगर single family, जैसे आप समझ लीजिए दाल है, दाल basically a single family. So in packaging also, I'll tell you polyester. You know polyester, yes, right? So अगर आप एक packaging use कर रहे हो तो entire family of that particular packaging should be of polyester, so that it is very easy to recycle. If it is a multi-family plastic, then again it is very difficult to recycle and decompose.
Because there will be different method for each type of material.
Yes. So not about different methods, but it takes a lot of efforts to recycle them, and again carbon footprints are increased than fossil fuels. So there are various things. Again, the government has developed a good initiative wherein that is called EPR, and enterprise producer responsibility, wherein how much we are producing. Basically, if I produce 250 tons per month, I have to recycle 100% of that quantity every month.
Okay, so government is playing a big role in this.
So initiatives are being developed. If you talk about 5 years down the line, it will be all about sustainability. Wherein there is global warming, various things are being come into light. So various things are being done, like starch-based packaging are being done in secondary packaging, biodegradable. Not foolproof, but over the years it will develop, and we as a company are trying to get into it. We are doing our homework, and later 5 years down the lines, you will find us doing sustainable practice.
Like these types of initiatives taken by the government, do they affect your finances?
Definitely they do. So it ultimately adds to our cost, but
Yes.
it all at the end we are not looking at a very small picture wherein on day-to-day basis. It's a very broader picture when we talk about sustainability. It's all over the globe. If you see, glaciers are melting, and there is a lot of mismanagement in terms of recycling the waste. So by implementing this EPR responsibility, rather than appointing a private company, they are making sure that the company who are producing the plastic itself are taking the responsibility of recycling. So that becomes much easier. See, right now I would say it's not 100%, but within years to come it will be strict and everyone has to follow that. So that will give a boost to the economy.
That's great. So like for someone to enter your packaging industry today, like आपकी क्या advice होगी and what type of skills or mindset should that person have?
See, see, not only about packaging industry, be it any industry. So the mindset first the person should have is he should be passionate about it. And again, different industries have different investments, so they have to carefully analyze what they are getting into. What are the requirements of that industry? Whether they will be able to cater it, whether the market is saturated, where they want to place the market. Different things have to be analyzed in different ways. But the most important thing is the passion, dedication that is required to drive the organization. Because see, if what I feel is if you don't have interest in a particular thing, you won't be able to justify it correctly. Let's take Mukesh Ambani for example. See, I'm taking a very big example. If he would have not taken interest in his father's business, or he would have not been passionate about it would not have been grown so much. And again, if you take his brother's example, Anil Ambani, he got a particular business which he was not interested in, and you can see where it is now. And if you see Mukesh Ambani, he has grown his business in so many ways in diverse sectors, whether it be media, telecom, food and beverage, lifestyle and clothing. He's into everything. So that is the most important thing that a person should have.
Okay, this was great, Mr. Aditya. Thank you for your time.